am John the Liquidator. This is the Liquidator Report, man. I hope everybody's having a good, warm weekend. UFC has found themselves in the headlines after a $7 billion deal. Turned out to be a success, man. If you guys didn't know, UFC just signed a new $1 billion deal with Paramount app for exclusive pay-per-views. Now, I'm not the biggest UFC fan. I do watch it from time to time. Buddies of mine go to the fights all the time. Me personally, it's kind of hard to get into. I'm just more of a boxing guy, but still sports, and we still got to cover the news. Now, with that being said, yesterday was their debut on Paramount, and many fans and many people was talking about this specific card that they had. Many people was calling this card the fight of the century. Tons and tons of support was flowing in for UFC all over the country. Unanimous decision. UFC debut on Paramount was a major hit in terms of fight quality. It's hard to imagine the UFC Paramount partnership having gotten off to a better start. Yes, man, we got to see the return of Sean O'Malley, and he actually won. We got to see many, many good legendary fights. The article goes on to say, much like the outcome of his main event, the reaction of UFC 324 was a victory by a unanimous decision. The show was marked as UFC first monthly numbered event in its new media rights deal with Paramount. Now, wasn't perfect, but especially with some underwhelming early fights, people are even saying the prelims was lit. Now, the commercials and the typical culture wars nonsense doing the company has been associated with, but for most viewers, all of that proved to be afterthoughts to what was ultimately one of the best shows and most memorable fights in UFC history. People were saying the fights that took place last night is going to go down in infamy, bro. These are fights that they're going to remember for a mighty long time. Now, if it was any sports service that needed a lifeline, UFC was one of them, man. We've seen reports of Dana White not giving fighters the right amount of money. We see viewership going up and down, up and down. We even see Jake Paul poking fun at the UFC. Well, I'm here to tell you, this deal that they just did with Paramount is going to kill all of that, bro. We even had Dana White stepping up to pull fights off the cards. Yes, there is betting type of situations going on, and people thought that the fights could be getting altered with illegal betting. We're going to talk about that in a hot second, because that right there is making headlines today. Now, Derek Lewis had a good run, but it was about to be hung up, bro. Watch this highlight.
Oh, nice right from Lewis.
But that right there is kind of wide.
Yeah.
Right? He's a step behind. Oh.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
That was one fight. Then we got another fight. We Sean O'Malley. It goes on to say Sean O'Malley, however, managed to overcome the early defeat as one of the UFC's biggest and most colorful stars. Literally, look at his hair, energetically secured a unanimous decision victory to end a 2-fight losing streak. Guys, if it was anybody that needed to win in UFC, it was definitely Sean O'Malley. Let's check out Justin and Patty fight.
Big right hand. Gaethje's right hand stumbles Pimblett.
It's 2 fights. When Justin Gaethje is going forward, he is really in control of this fight.
Now, that was one of the highlights there. Now, something we have to talk about is this current state right here. Yahoo Sports reported Dana White confirms betting irregular led to last night fight cancellation. Hold up. Wait a minute. They doing some NBA type stuff? See, one thing about Dana White, bro, he ain't gonna let you mess up his money, dog. You can nobody fumble the bag. This is a $7 billion deal they got done with Paramount, bro. The article goes on to say a fight was quietly but conspicuously pulled from the UFC 324 early prelim hours ahead of the event on Saturday. The reason turned out to be what many were speculating. UFC CEO Dana White confirmed to reporters late Saturday night that the lightweight bout between Michael Johnson and Alex Hernandez was canceled due to a report of betting irregularities. we got called from the Gaming Integrity Service, and I said, I'm not doing this again. So we pulled the fight, White said. It's unclear what the irregularities were or who is suspected of misconduct. It still is a familiar story for UFC, as Dana White included to his promotion hindered in major gambling scandal last year, the fight Isaac. So it looked like Dana White has been through this before with this betting stuff. Now, I told y'all, he just signed this $7 billion deal, bro. He ain't going. He ain't going for none of that. UFC veteran Derek Minor and Jeff Molina also received 3-year suspension from the NAC for their connections to a 2022 fight that had suspicion betting activity involving Minor. Such stories have become commonplace throughout the sports world since the introduction of legal sports betting. The NBA and MLB both have seen players connected to suspicious betting activity with potential career-killing consequences. Now, we know, like I stated, we cover the NBA here on this channel, and it's just quite interesting, man, to see that now this stuff is heading into combat sports, the whole betting stuff. But like I say, UFC 324 turned out to be a hit. A lot of people talked about it. It's trending all over Twitter. Let's check out what they're saying on Twitter real quick about UFC. It says, say what you want about the outcome, but Patty Pillman showed heart against Justin, took shots, kept coming, didn't fold. Argue with me if you want to. Once somebody else has celebrated the victory with the crew. So it's a lot of people, man, that are tweeting out about this current UFC. Some shots from the AP tonight of Sean O'Malley as the Montana beat. I don't know, guys. I don't know a bunch of these dude names. I ain't finna slaughter these dude names, bro. So if you see me stumbling over words, it's the names, bro. I ain't finna slaughter these guys' names. It said it's an incredible partnership. Yeah, man. So even made the New York Post, man. So Sean O'Malley, look at this. Whoa, bro. This was last night. Did he try to bite Sean O'Malley's leg? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This was last night. My goodness. Y'all see that? Talk about a graphic moment. Yeah, man. It looked like a very, very lit event. Is this Dana White?
I have been extended.
For how long?
That's a good question. 5 years? Yeah. Another 5-year extension.
We were going to, of course, always look at really two parts of the strategy. One is monetization, maximizing the value of our rights. But the second, just as importantly, is what's the right home and platform for the future growth of our brand and our business. So if we can be in one place at the right price, in this scenario, as you said, an AAV of 1.1 per year, which is 2 times what we got on the last deal, we check the box on the financial part of this. In terms of the brand, it was important to us to have CBS play a big component in this.
For you. I have been extended.
So there you guys see. So Dana White has been extended, allegedly what he said, to still remaining the president of UFC. I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section right now. I am John, the Liquidator. This has been another episode of the Liquidator Report. And until next time, man, peace out.